You've worked tirelessly to become the best version of yourself. Late nights, countless sacrifices, relentless self-improvement. But as you stand at the pinnacle of your success, an unsettling realization creeps in. The women in your life seem different, hesitant, almost fearful. What if your greatest strength has become your greatest obstacle in love? This isn't about arrogance. It's about facing a harsh truth. Sometimes being extraordinary comes at a price. By the end of this video, you'll uncover the subtle, heartbreaking signs that she's struggling with your value. More importantly, you'll learn how to bridge this gap and create a love that elevates you both. Are you ready to confront the uncomfortable reality of being too good? Next are the 8 signs you're too high value for her. 1. The whisper of unworthiness. Her eyes dart away when you compliment her. She deflects praise with self-deprecation. At first, you might mistake it for modesty, but listen closely, and you'll hear the whisper of unworthiness. This isn't just low self-esteem. It's the sound of someone who feels they don't deserve you. Every compliment you give becomes a painful reminder of the perceived gap between you. She struggles to accept your praise because, in her mind, she hasn't earned it. This creates a vicious cycle. The more you try to build her up, the more unworthy she feels. The impact of this unworthiness goes beyond just deflecting compliments. It seeps into every aspect of your relationship. She might hesitate to share her opinions, fearing they won't measure up to your intellect. She might become withdrawn, convinced she's not interesting enough to engage with your friends. This constant feeling of inadequacy can lead her to sabotage the relationship, subconsciously pushing you away before you can realize your mistake and leave her. To bridge this gap, focus on cultivating shared experiences of growth. Instead of simply praising her, involve her in your journey of self-improvement. Share books that have impacted you, invite her to workshops or seminars you're attending. Show her that your journey is ongoing and that you value her as a partner in growth, not just a spectator to your success. 2. The pedestal shadow. She puts you on a pedestal, singing your praises to anyone who'll listen. But in private, she withdraws, becoming almost cold. This isn't admiration, it's fear. By elevating you to godlike status, she's created an unbridgeable gap between you. In public, she basks in the reflected glory of being with someone so exceptional. She might introduce you with a long list of your accomplishments, beaming with pride. But this pride is a double-edged sword. The higher she raises you, the further she feels from your level. In private, this dynamic takes a dark turn. The pedestal casts a long shadow, and she finds herself retreating into it. Intimacy becomes difficult because she feels she can't let her guard down around someone so perfect. She might become critical or distant, subconsciously trying to bring you down to a more manageable level. This push-pull dynamic can be exhausting for both of you as she oscillates between adoration and resentment. Breaking this cycle requires vulnerability on your part. Share your doubts, your struggles, your moments of weakness. Let her see the human behind the hero. Talk about times you failed or felt lost. This isn't about diminishing your accomplishments, but about showing the full spectrum of your humanity. 3. The silence of ambition. Remember how she used to talk about her dreams? Those late-night conversations about changing the world? Now silence. When you bring up goals, she changes the subject. This isn't laziness. It's the suffocation of her ambition in the shadow of your success. Your achievements, instead of inspiring her, have become a yardstick she feels she can never measure up to. She's internalized the idea that her dreams are insignificant compared to what you've already accomplished. This leads to a dangerous complacency where she stops pushing herself to grow. The silence of her ambition manifests in subtle ways. She might make self-deprecating jokes about her career, playing it off as humility. When you talk about your future plans, she becomes vague about her own, using phrases like, "We'll see," or "I'm still figuring it out." This isn't just a phase of uncertainty, it's a retreat from the very idea of personal achievement. She's shrinking her world to avoid feeling inadequate next to your expanding one. To reignite her fire, shift the focus from your accomplishments to her passions. Instead of sharing your latest success, ask her about the dreams she used to have. Show genuine curiosity about her interests, no matter how small they might seem compared to your endeavors. 4. The weight of your world. She seems overwhelmed by simple decisions in your life. Choosing a restaurant becomes a minefield. Meeting your friends fills her with dread. This isn't indecisiveness. It's the crushing weight of your world on her shoulders. Every choice feels monumental because she believes she's not just deciding for herself, but for someone extraordinary. The pressure to match your level in every aspect is paralyzing her. She fears that a wrong decision will expose her as unworthy of being in your life. This weight manifests in seemingly trivial situations. When you ask her opinion on something, she might freeze up or defer to you entirely. Planning dates becomes a source of anxiety for her, as she strives to create experiences that live up to your perceived standards. Even her choice of outfit for a casual outing with you becomes a stress-filled ordeal, as she tries to look worthy of being on your arm. To ease this burden, emphasize the joy of simple things. Show her that your happiness isn't dependent on perfection, but on genuine connection. Make decisions together, valuing her input equally. Share stories of times when you've made imperfect choices and how they led to unexpected joys. Plan low-key activities that focus on togetherness rather than impressiveness. 5. The echo of absence. You're fully present when you're with her, but she acts as if you're always one foot out the door. Constant texts, needy behavior, jealousy over innocent interactions. This isn't just insecurity. It's the echo of an absence she fears is inevitable. Deep down, she's convinced that someone of your caliber will eventually leave her for someone better. This fear creates a self-fulfilling prophecy where her clingy behavior stems from and simultaneously reinforces her belief in your imminent departure. The echo of absence reverberates through your relationship in various ways. She might become overly suspicious of your female friends or colleagues, seeing every interaction as a potential threat. Her need for constant reassurance can become exhausting, with endless questions about your feelings and commitment. In extreme cases, she might even subconsciously create drama or arguments, perversely preferring the pain of conflict to the anxiety of waiting for you to leave. Bridging this gap requires consistency and patience. Show her through unwavering presence that your choice to be with her is deliberate and lasting. Be transparent about your schedule and interactions, not because you owe her an explanation, but to alleviate her fears. Create rituals and traditions unique to your relationship, giving her tangible proof of your commitment to a shared future. Most importantly, address her fears directly but gently. Help her understand that your value doesn't diminish her own, and that you choose her not out of obligation, but out of genuine love and compatibility. 6. The mirror of inadequacy. She obsesses over self-improvement, but not in a healthy way. Crash diets, impulsive career changes, a constant dissatisfaction with herself. This isn't self-love, it's self-punishment, fueled by the belief that she's not enough for you. Your excellence has become a harsh mirror, reflecting every perceived flaw. Instead of being inspired by your growth, she's become fixated on her own shortcomings, real or imagined. This relentless self-criticism can lead to destructive behaviors as she tries to close a gap that exists only in her mind. The mirror of inadequacy distorts every aspect of her life. She might jump from hobby to hobby, trying to find something she excels at to feel worthy of you. Her career becomes a source of constant stress as she pushes herself to match your level of success, often at the cost of her well-being. Even her appearance becomes a battlefield, with extreme diets or consideration of unnecessary cosmetic procedures. The cruel irony is that in trying to become good enough for you, she's losing the very qualities that attracted you in the first place. 7. The sacrifice of self. She molds herself to fit your life perfectly. Your hobbies become hers. Your opinions become hers. It might seem like compatibility, but look closer. This isn't adaptation. It's the sacrifice of her identity on the altar of your value. In trying to be worthy of you, she's erasing the very person you fell for. This chameleon-like behavior stems from a deep-seated fear that her authentic self isn't enough to keep you interested. She's trading her individuality for what she perceives as security in the relationship. The sacrifice of self manifests in both subtle and overt ways. She might suddenly develop an intense interest in your passions, even if she previously showed no inclination towards them. Her personal style might shift to match what she thinks you prefer. More alarmingly, she might start echoing your opinions on everything from politics to pop culture, afraid that disagreeing with you might create distance. Encouraging her individuality is crucial to reversing this trend. Actively celebrate the ways she's different from you. Show genuine interest in her unique perspectives and experiences. Create space in your relationship for her to pursue her own interests, even if they're different from yours. Demonstrate through your words and actions that you value her for her authentic self, not for her ability to mirror you. Encourage healthy debate and different viewpoints in your conversations. 8. The unspoken competition. She celebrates your wins, but there's a flicker of something else in her eyes. Not quite resentment, but relief, as if your success justifies her place beside you. This isn't partnership. It's an unspoken competition she feels she's losing. Your achievements, instead of being a source of shared joy, have become milestones that constantly remind her of her perceived inadequacy. She's caught in a paradox, proud of your success yet feeling diminished by it. This creates a complex emotional landscape where she's simultaneously your biggest cheerleader and your silent competitor. The unspoken competition poisons various aspects of your relationship. When you share good news, her congratulations might seem slightly delayed or forced. She might bring up her own accomplishments immediately after, not out of pride, but as a desperate attempt to prove her worth. If you have made it this far, let us know what you think in the comments section below. For more interesting topics, make sure you watch the recommended video that you see on the screen right now. Thanks for watching.